gamers, and welcome to episode 353 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for November 28th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Hey, what's going on, man? We just had Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody had a good holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a good holiday?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I made an apple pie and everything.
Oh, you made apple pie? Okay.
Fancy.
Did people like it?
Yeah, I always I'm not a huge fan of apple pie, but I typically make something like that so it's different because people usually have like a pumpkin roll or something like that. Like I prefer pumpkin pie. So it's never quite what I'm looking for, but I have like high standards of like, this is what I was looking for. And this year it was a little more juice, like sauce than I wanted in it. And it came out a little thinner than I wanted, but like flavor wise, it was good. Everything else turned out all right.
Okay. So you like pumpkin pie? I mean, I like pumpkin. I'm okay with pumpkin pie, but I prefer sweet potato. You like sweet potato pie?
I don't think I've ever really had sweet potato pie.
Oh my
I could
God.
see really liking it because I like.
So you like pumpkin pie, and you never had sweet potato. I mean, yeah, you gotta taste sweet potato pie then. Cause I never met anybody who will say they like pumpkin pie but don't like sweet potato pie. I've seen vice versa though.
Yeah, I mean, I like sweet potatoes and I like mashed sweet potatoes. I can't see why I wouldn't like sweet potato pie.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, then yeah, you'll definitely like sweet potato pie. I mean, though, it's different. People make them differently, so you might find some you don't like and do like. But yeah, I had apple pie too. For Thanksgiving. Yeah, this is probably the first one. One of the first Thanksgivings I didn't have sweet potato pie. It feels weird. So I'm definitely have to have sweet potato pie for Christmas. Yeah, because I was like, man, no sweet potato pie this year. But yeah, it was pretty good too. I didn't cook anything this time. Well, I was supposed to make the gravy, and then I forgot. But luckily, somebody they made it. But
see, I rarely use gravy on Thanksgiving because as long as there's like cranberry sauce, that's what I put on my turkey and stuff. Mashed potatoes it's nice to have gravy, but again, like I like the sweet potatoes more, and that doesn't need gravy. So I'm like, all right.
It all depends how the turkey is cooked, And this turkey wasn't really dry, but I traditionally use gravy. Cranberry sauce. I've never been a cranberry sauce guy.
Gotcha.
Actually, I mean, most places when I ate, it might be, some people might have cranberry sauce, but most of the time they don't. That's never I think that's never been a big side dish in the families I've been with. But yeah, I mean, as long as the gravy's not dry. I mean, I had dry gravy before, but hey, I mean, I said gravy. As long as the turkey's not dry.
Gravy, that's rough.
Yeah, good God, that is horrible. So as long as the turkey's not dry. I mean, I had dry turkey, but the gravy sometimes that gravy helps. I was like, oh yeah, this some good.
You definitely need to moisten up sometimes.
But I've learned to taste the gravy because people have different types of gravy, and one time I did put some gravy on my turkey one year, and I was like, oh my God, I can't even eat it because I was like, this gravy is horrible.
No.
but not. Yeah, I mean, it was all right Thanksgiving. As time goes on, I am eating less on Thanksgiving. Yeah. I used to be able to eat 2 plates.
Oh man!
Now I only can eat 1, and I'd be saying like, I'm gonna wait, man. I should be okay, but I don't get hungry till late, and then I'm like, I'm not eating at fucking 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I was like, darn, yeah, I couldn't eat as much as I thought I was gonna eat. I was like, darn, man, this had filled me up. You know why? Maybe because I didn't eat too fast. You eat fast, which you're not supposed to do. But maybe that's what it was. I was eating very slowly, so. What you supposed to do? You're supposed to eat slow and let the food settle and eat. But I wasn't in a rush to go anywhere. And so I guess I was like, I'll just chill.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least I had a lot of leftovers to take back home. But yeah, it was a good Thanksgiving. I guess we anything else you want to say about your Thanksgiving? Do y'all say in your family like what you're thankful for?
No, thankfully.
Yeah, do that. Okay. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah,
I don't like being put on the spot.
I think I maybe did that a few times in our family, but like my intermediate family, I never remember doing that at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
I never remember doing that. Maybe I did at somebody else's house. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, man, I hope I don't do like at this place. This is one of my father's friends. I was like, I hope she don't do that. That's like, I hope you don't do that. That's like, it's like I don't want to do that.
At least now I've got the cop out answer. I can just be like, oh, I'm thankful for my child.
Oh yeah. Well, god damn, your cop out answer was your wife too.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, well, I guess you could say that every year. That'd be just.
I mean, it's usually at her family, and they're like, really? Come on.
So he said that. He said that last year.
Stop snitching on me.
Yeah.
Why do you have such a good memory?
Anyway, so traditionally, on Thanksgiving we have football. So you had the Lions versus the Bears. That was probably the game I least wanted to see, but turned out to be a good game.
Okay,
turned out to be a good game. I believe. You know what? I forgot who won. Was it the Lions or the Bears who won?
I want to say the Bears because I saw stuff about.
Okay, so the Lions are still winless,
getting beat. Let me see. Let's see. Lions. Yeah, Bears 16.
Okay,
Lions
so
14.
The Lions are still winless. They have tied the game, but they are still winless. So they are still horrible. Man, too bad for them. They had a chance. I mean, they had a lead at some point, but they just couldn't finish it. The best game was the Cowboys versus the Raiders. Cowboys did come back to tie the game up, make it overtime, but they lost. So it was such a great. So I was like, yes, I got to see a great game, and Dallas lost. So yes, this is a good Thanksgiving. But just like last year, Dallas lost. We beat them. Washington team blew them out, but then that was when Dak Prescott wasn't playing. But I don't care. Like a win is a win because hell, we have injuries or we suck. So I was like, hey, this is your turn. So Dallas has lost 2 Thanksgivings in a row, which I wonder if my lifetime has that happen. It probably has. I just don't remember, but it feels good. It feels good. Yeah. And the last game was the Bills versus the who were they? Somebody. The Bills blew them out. It wasn't even a contest. Who the Bills play?
Saints?
But yeah, the Saints, yes. The Saints. It wasn't even a contest because the Saints don't have a quarterback. And they were out there starting running back, starting quarterback, and starting wide receiver. So it's like, okay, they have no offense. This just sucks. And they couldn't do nothing. I think they did finally score near the end, but they only got 6 points. It was ridiculous. But yeah, other than that, what else is sports? We got the Wizards who just won 2 in a row. They're on the road trip now. They lost their first game on the road trip against the Pelicans, which that was an embarrassing loss because they got beat up pretty good by a team that hasn't really done much this year. But the Pelicans have good players. I don't know. It must be the chemistry because they got good players though. So I don't know why their record is what it is. But the Wizards came back. They beat the Thunder. Then they beat the Dallas Mavericks, which is a good team last night. So they are now 13-7, I want to say. And 13-7 or 12-7, I forget. But yeah, they're looking good. I mean, the Wizards looking good. For them to come back to beat an actual decent team, so it shows like, yeah, look, this team is going to be different this year. This is not going to be what the Wizards been for the last few years. Like them being Dallas, they haven't beat Dallas in like 5 years. So it's like, yes, we got that monkey off our backs. I don't know who they play next. The next team they play, I think, is not really a good team. Because I was thinking like the Dallas game, I was like, hey, we should win 3 out of these games and maybe lose against Dallas. But now they lost the Pelicans. I'm happy we beat Dallas. So maybe we still can be 3-1. So it turns out to be good on this road trip.
Yeah.
Anything else in basketball? I mean, I know Lakers are really just, they are iffy. Like, I know LeBron, they had that incident happen where LeBron was suspended for a game because of some people think it's not on purpose. Like he hit a guy's face, like when they were kind of locked in arms.
Oh, okay.
To me, I think he meant to like hit him, but not to be that egregious though. I think it was like, because he saw like he opened a cut on the guy. So he was shocked at that. I think he was shocked at that, but he was frustrated and he was trying to get the guy off of him. And then the guy, he just went off. But I think he got suspended for 2 games. LeBron got suspended for 1. But the team is 10-11. They're not having a great start, like, being the possible favorites for this year to win a championship.
Right.
Like, people still not liking Westbrook. So it's looking bad now, but it's like, I don't trust it, I was like, I hope this team stays bad. I mean, even though I was rooting for Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony to get a ring. Like, that's the only saving grace for me with the Lakers is those two. But other than that, hey, they be bad team, fine. I can live with that also. But I'm like, nah, they're gonna find a way because they can't let LeBron go do this stuff. And something else just happened. Like, he got fined for obscene gesture.
Yeah, I heard
LeBron.
something about that.
Yeah, like, I never heard LeBron have these kind of issues,
Yeah.
So, like, something's going on. Like, I think he grabbed his balls or something. I don't know who he was doing it to, because I didn't watch the video or anything. But yeah, I'm like, there's something's going on there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Other than that, I don't think I got any other news. Anything with sports anyway. You got any wrestling news? Anything happening in the wrestling world?
Nothing big. I don't think really worth talking about this week.
Oh, okay. I didn't mention anything about the Ravens. The Ravens, what they do last week? They lost, didn't they?
I do not know.
They haven't played since Thursday, right? So yeah, that Thursday night game, right? So
that's what it feels like.
Up?
I don't remember hearing anything about them since then.
Let me see. Ravens.
21st.
They play the Browns now.
Played the Bears and beat them.
Oh, yeah. That was a while ago. Actually, okay. No,
so that was last week.
No. That was last Sunday. That was last Sunday. Yeah, they beat the Bears. It was a close game. The Bears had a chance to win that game. The Ravens pulled it out at the end.
And they played the
Browns
without Lamar
today. Jackson. Lamar Jackson didn't play this game. So that's actually pretty good. Now, is Lamar Jackson back for this game? I'm assuming he is, because I didn't hear he was out.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't heard anything.
So I'm assuming he's playing this game. So this is a huge game. Huge division game for them. Okay, so I guess we move on to what we've been watching. So you go ahead, because you watched mostly everything.
Sure.
I didn't watch anything this week.
I watched some Curb Your Enthusiasm, making some use of my HBO Max subscription. I watched the latest season. There are 5 episodes of that out right now as of recording that. We were talking about that a little bit before the podcast. Like,
yeah,
it is just so effortlessly funny. Like, Larry David is a comedic genius in a lot of ways, and the people that he surrounds himself on that show with are just as smart and funny as he is. It's really incredible because it's not just like punchline after punchline. It's really just the circumstances that they put themselves in or he finds himself in, and their reactions to it are just hilarious.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I want to say a lot of ways genuine, but really, like, Larry seems genuine to himself, but he is like a cartoon character in a lot of ways. Like, I can't see a normal human being that's well balanced, like, reacting to some of the ways that he does. And you'll see that, like you were telling me you hadn't seen the latest episode yet. In this latest episode, there's just bits where it's like, no one would react that way. Like, he just gets into the stupidest fucking circumstance.
I like the situation with the Ku Klux Klan member. Him spilling something on his robe.
He spilled coffee on his robes. Yeah.
And he's taking it to the cleaners, and then the cleaners is a Jew, and he say, "Look, I'm turning another cheek." We can't show them, but the man still act like he lost his robe, but he went back, and then the woman put the Star of David on the back of the robe, but to get another robe made. And that guy got beat up at his Klan's meeting with the Star of David. It's a Jew.
And then he's using the horn that the rabbi gave him to wake his neighbors up. Yeah, it's so absurd.
Was an army of Jews going to come or something? Oh man, yeah, that show is hilarious. It is hilarious, and the people on the show, they do a good job. The guest stars and all that nature.
Yeah. I mean, John Hamm, like, being himself on that show is just so hilarious, too.
Now, he was in, I don't know if it was last season or season before last. John Hamm was there. I think
I've seen him in an episode or two in a previous season. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it must have been 2 ago, because I don't know that I ever saw any of the last season, but maybe
because he was playing an actor. He was trying to learn from Larry David.
Yeah.
And he was acting like him.
Yeah, because in this one he talked about like, oh, how did that go? And he was like, oh, they canceled it because they didn't like it. Went through testing, they didn't like him. He was like, could have been the performance, right? They were like, no, they specifically said they loved the performance, but they hated the character. Yeah, it's just it's really so good. It really is. So I'm gonna go back and catch up on some of the other ones, because I've definitely at some point in my life, and like you said before we started recording, to me, like, yeah, this is on season 11, but it's also been on for like what feels like 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
And I watched those early seasons sometime around them. I probably rented them from Netflix on DVD or something like that. But it's been so long since I've seen them, I'll probably just start from the beginning and go from there. So.
Oh, and that was like the Christmas is coming up. It reminds me of a very old one where when he still had his wife, and they had a Christmas little Christmas family gathering, and they had cookies, and he ate the cookies, but the cookies was more for decoration. And somebody said, "Oh, who ate the cookies?" He said, "Oh, the animals." Said, "No, this was the what's it called? The major and stuff like that. They what they call it with the major and the baby Jesus."
Shit. It's like right there in the front of my head. I can't think of it.
Yeah. We're not religious guys on here. All right, so it's
proving it right now, Don. Nativity scene.
Yeah, nativity. Yes. And he was like, what you do? You bit the Jesus head off. Somebody said, I thought it was a monkey. He said, I thought it was a monkey.
It's like, even in this one, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna come to the synagogue." He's like, not really feeling that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I like how he just lied. He's like, "Man, that was so great. Those 4 hours just flew by. Those 4 hours flew by." That's like, oh man, yeah, that show's great. Yeah. So, what else you watch?
Also, I watched the new Netflix movie starring The Rock and Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds, Red Notice. And you know what? That was probably exactly what you would expect out of that movie. It was fun. It was all right. It's a fine, fine's maybe a little generous. It was a fun action movie in the same vein as a like Fast and the Furious, maybe not quite to the level of one of those more recent ones. If you were okay with Hobbs and Shaw, that's this, you know. You don't get the same level of action. There's not like as much, but the relationship between The Rock and Ryan Reynolds is entertaining. Like their interactions, and Gal Gadot is fine in it. She just kind of plays the foil to the two of them. And yeah, overall, it's an all right movie. It's a decent way to spend 2 hours or however long it was. So, yeah, if you got Netflix, you can check it out. And then I watched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Netflix original movie. Yeah. And then I watched Hawkeye. The first 2 episodes of that are on Disney Plus now. And overall, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, but very much like the other Disney Plus series, it's very much set dressing. Like it really, I've definitely started to notice that, you know, the first couple episodes are very much like just introducing you to the world and getting you used to the characters that exist in this world. And then it's just like a fucking full-on sprint to the end, usually, maybe with a little bit of filler here and there. Because especially like this is going to be 6 episodes the same way Loki was. And Loki was very much this way, where it's like the beginning first episodes was like, okay, this is the old Loki that you're dealing with, so we got to get him up to speed to make it feel like he's the more modern anti-hero Loki instead of the guy that just tried to destroy New York with super big alien creatures or whatever. And that's what this one feels like. It's getting you used to Kate Bishop, getting you familiar with who she is as a person and the people around her, her mother and her, I guess, stepfather or soon to be stepfather, I think in this case. Just getting you familiar with the world and also introducing you to why she is a fan of Hawkeye in the universe that they exist in. So I think they're good episodes, but there's nothing in either of them that I'm going to be like, this was incredible, this was amazing. Just really good set dressing stuff for now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I might check it out later. I haven't been in the mood to watch it now. But yeah, I'll definitely check it out sometime.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll move on to what we've been playing. So I guess I started off.
I can start it off just because I didn't really play much. There's not a lot to talk about. Again. What's that?
Don't you interrupt me. Don't you interrupt me.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I just figured to get him out of the way real quick. Just playing more Link's Awakening on the Game Boy Classic thing. The one thing I will say about that game that I don't think I've said in the past and that I noticed this time specifically is that the flow of that game is very good. Like going from dungeon to dungeon, it doesn't feel like you're doing a lot of backtracking. It feels very much like, hey, I'm moving you into this new section, and with this new power, you can kind of circumvent the previous areas that you've been in. And sure, you can go back and explore them and maybe find a heart container or whatever. But for the most part, like it has a very nice flow to it, and I'll give it credit for that. And then the other game that I played this week was Unpacking. It's on Game Pass. It's a very simplistic game and one of those ones that you kind of put on a podcast or put on music and you just kind of get lost in a little bit. It's basically like a diorama of a room. The first one is just one room, and as you progress in the game, it's more rooms. And here's a couple of moving boxes in the middle of the room. You take all your stuff out. You can either kind of pull it all out and drop it on the floor, or you can pull it out one piece at a time and put it where you want it. And it's really just about like taking these things out of the box and putting them in this environment where you think they belong. And there's no like right or wrong answer. There are some like specific items that they want you to put in specific places. But for the most part, it's just that, and it's more of an environmental storytelling thing, like almost a Gone Home, but minus the very like in-your-face text, because you can actually, go in and read diaries and stuff in that game. It's more about the mood. And so far I've done, I think, 3 levels, and it's very much like showing you the progression of this woman's life. Like, the very first is you moving into your childhood home. I guess your parents just moved and you're probably, I don't know, maybe like 13 or so. So you're putting, computers up, you're putting books on shelves and toys, knickknacks here and there, clothes away. And then you move on to like your college years where now you have a bathroom to put stuff away in and you have a kitchen to put stuff away in addition to your bedroom. And then you move on to another one. And now it's okay. I'm moving out of the college and moving into a place with a roommate. So they already have stuff on shelves and places, and you can't move their stuff. So you're like, okay, I'm moving my stuff here and, accentuating their things like that. But it's very much just one of those non-game games. It's just something to kind of chill out with and relax. So like, it's got a really good vibe to it. It's not it's not a puzzle game in any way really, outside of, like I said, those couple of things. If you get to the end of the boxes, and because as you unpack the boxes, you can eventually fold them up and make them disappear. Once you've done that with all the boxes, then it'll highlight the things in red that aren't in an acceptable place. Like, this is still on the floor. This teddy bear does not go on the floor. Put this on your bed or something like that. But for the most part, it's really just kind of that. And it's nice. It's a really nice game. And in the same way, like when I was telling you about like the lake demo, where it's just like, I'm this postman and I'm driving around this lake town and delivering mail.
I thought you were a postwoman.
A post person. Sorry, Dominic. Yes, you are a post woman. So yeah, it's just like kind of soothe out, do your thing kind of thing, even though that had more like missions eventually where you're like running this woman's cat to the vet or something like that. Okay. And maybe this game gets there at a certain point where like something else gets introduced. I would imagine as you move further along, you're unpacking into a place with a partner and you have to, you know, cohabitate in the same way you did with the roommate, or like, hey, now I'm unpacking for like my child or something like that. I can't imagine it's that
interesting.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's that long or that many levels, but for Game Pass, something on there, I think it's really cool. The only thing I don't like is because I tried playing this like a week or two when I was still having trouble with my Game Pass installing games and I wanted to stream it. But when streaming it, it wouldn't let me use the mouse and it wanted me to use the controller. And I don't think this would be a good game with a controller. This is very much a sit at a PC or play on your laptop. I can't imagine the specs for this game are very demanding. It's pixel arty, looks very cute. But yeah, I can't imagine it's that rough on your computer. But it definitely feels like a game that takes advantage of you having something more precise than a controller. But yeah, so that's what I've been playing this week. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right. So I've been playing the game Being a Dick. Like the latest episode came out sometime last week. And so I played the latest episode, like with some of the choices I made in that game. If you listen to the podcast, Being a Dick is an adult visual novel. It has a lot of lewd scenes, a lot of sex, and like they actually show everything.
Yeah,
doing sex.
There's penetration.
But it has a good story though, which is what gravitates me to it because I don't usually play these games. But what I've heard about, if you listen to the podcast, you know I like acting lessons, which doesn't have as much sex as like Being a Dick, but it was a great story and it's made by the same guy, so that's why I played this game. Yeah. And the story still is great. I will say that he really put a lot of sex scenes in this last episode, though, like potential sex scenes, because a lot of them I didn't do, like based on my choices. But I was like, oh, I guess I guess maybe he just wanted to do everything, but it's still a good story too at the same time. And the choices I make, so I'm just glad to finally make it so that you can pick one path or potentially one path, because right now it's like you can date probably multiple people in this story or something like that. I mean, that's not the biggest thing, but it could cause problems to the bigger story, you know, who you mess with. And so now you get to choose like, hey, I want to focus on this person. Even though mostly I was kind of actually one of my playthroughs I wasn't, because I was just going by the mod or what to do.
Right.
And realizing, okay, I'm just messing with everybody. But most of the playthroughs I've done, I've just been with one person anyway, so it's not that big a deal. But for that one, that's a big deal. And for one where I was just purposely being like just being a dick, I guess you would say, in the game, it's really gonna mess me up because of the big reveal at the end. Was a big cliffhanger, and it's like if you did certain things, this will be either very bad or maybe it's good or not good, but maybe it won't be any consequence from it. But I don't know. It still could be a consequence even without me having to do something. But I know if I definitely did a certain thing in the game, well, I'm not okay. It's a mild spoiler. Like there's a person in the game. I mean, because I'm going to listen. I'm going to assume none of y'all are going to play this game. But anyway, it's a mild spoiler. Like, okay, it's a person in the game who you mess with, and she. Now, I guess it all depends what you do. You could choose to be with her or not, but either way, you mess with her. And then there's a teacher in the game who you could mess with, also. And if you, then it gets to a point where you can choose to still mess with her or break off with her. If you choose to break off, she is livid and pissed. Thing is, there's a scene at the end of the game where you realize that teacher is that student's mother, and that's a huge big deal. Plus, and that's not that's one of the biggest deals with that relationship. It's like, oh no. Then, and like, so if you were messing with both of them, it's like, oh, that's bad. Or if you broke up with the mother or something, I don't know. The daughter might find out. It's gonna be crazy. Or it's another thing that's happening, that with a friend of yours, she's trying to get money for college because she wants to be on her own, because her parents are not helping her because they don't like her lifestyle. And because her life, she's a bi. Well, she's mostly gay, but lesbian. But I think you can be with her, so she's technically bi. But they don't. She was with a girlfriend before, and the father didn't like that. So he said, like, if you're gonna live that lifestyle, he's not gonna pay for your college. And now she wants to be away from him because she don't want to have that over him. She don't. The girl, this other girl, who the person I just mentioned before, she said that her family, they can help her because that's what they do, because she was adopted. So we're going to the place, and then I realized, well, see, I did this before. I did this on another playthrough, so I didn't realize like what home we were going to. But then we saw the pictures. You're like, oh shit, this is her parents. I was like, in my other playthrough, I fucked her mother. So I was like, uh-oh. And then another playthrough, I fucked her and broke it off. And she is pissed. So she might not give that money to that girl. She might realize, like, oh, you know her? Fuck that girl. She's going to have to just not go to college, or I'll be able to pay for college or whatever, or not be with her girlfriend. So it's like, oh man. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. There's other things that happen too, like other cliffhangers. Like a lot of things happen at the same time, even with this happens. So it's like, man, this next episode is going to be huge. But problem is, I don't know when it's going to be made, because like it seems like it's one dude with like some help from some other people when I see the credits, but he's mainly the guy.
Yeah.
It's only like a few people helping with other things, but he's the main guy. Like, how long is it going to take to make and to do another game? I was like, darn, it's going to be a long time. But the story is good. It's very good. I like it. I enjoy it. I mean, it's fun. I mean, because especially with all the different choices you can do in a game to make situations, like people's playthroughs will be so different on here. It's great. I mean, it's like a Telltale game. But sometimes Telltale, it gets to a point where some of your choices don't matter, because as longer the game goes on, it's harder to do, because you gotta start making things multiple choices. Which that's what I feel like he's gonna get to, or unless he's just so dedicated. But then it's like, how long is it gonna take to do that? Because if you're like one guy, I'm not saying you're not gonna get done, but darn, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I hope you get a lot of money from those Patreons. That you could dedicate that time to do that. Because as the game goes on, like the longer it goes, it's gonna be like this. I feel like it's gonna get to a point where either the game takes so forever to come out because he's actually making it work right with all the choices you possibly can make, or it's going to make it to a point where some of those choices don't mean nothing. Right. Because it's just still going to take too long. And that's why I feel like with this game, that's why I was hoping like, yo, this game really should have ended. Like, I mean, I wish she wasn't so long. I wish it could end earlier, but man, I hope it turns out good. I hope it turns out good with this. But yeah. Other games I played some more Trails of Cold Steel 3. I've been playing that. I'm seeing like some old classmates, how they're older. Because like I said, now I think when that last game I played, I was like 18. I just turned 18. This game, you're 20. You're about to turn 20.
Okay.
And so some of your other classmates, they're older too. They got their own jobs and stuff like that. I'm still a teacher. while they're off doing their own thing. But it's something else. Oh yeah, I never really talked about the battle system. The battle system is similar, but there is some tweaks to it. It's better. They added some modifications, like there's you can use battle points is where you use to do like in the previous games to do a combo with your partner. Like it's a link. Now they got it where you could either use it for that, or you could use it as like either a buffer or a support. Like you could say, hey, for this amount of time your team will be shielded, or this amount of time your attack power will be up, things of that nature, without having to use items or magic. So you still have a go. You still have your turn to go. So it's like, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some other changes too, because I'm still at the beginning. So it's still some tutorial stuff still happening here. The fishing is different. It's a little more challenging, which is better, because the last time it was just a fucking breeze. Like it was not. Well, I mean, it's not a breeze if you have problems like with carpet tunnel or something like that, because you have to press the button really fast to catch the fish. Now you don't have to do that shit. So it's like, oh, good. But it's still fun to fish. What else they changed in this game? I feel like graphically it's better. Like it doesn't look that much better than the previous games, but I can see the difference between this game and the last game. Like how the animation moves and even the look of some details is slightly better. You say, okay, they did improve it in a way, but not to a way to it's totally different. Let's try to see. Anything else different about the game I noticed? I think as of right now, that's basically it. But I'm enjoying my playthrough so far. The story hasn't really picked up yet, though. It's still that slow burn. I think the previous games were like that too, but since I know how these games are, it's all good with me. And last but not least, I played some Mortal Kombat 11. I actually played the story, so the Aftermath story. I played some of that, and I recorded it. And I think the recording says like 45 minutes, but I think, I got cut out the time of like the menu and stuff before I start the actual game. But so I'll say maybe 40 minutes of gameplay. Of gameplay, or 39 minutes, something like that. But I only fought like maybe 4 times or 5 times or something.
Oh, really?
Like that. So it's a lot of movies. Like the movie scenes,
Gotcha.
the cut scenes are long. I mean, I think they were probably pretty long in the other story too. But yeah, it's fun. I like what I see. But but you recording, you want to see mostly me not fighting. And the fights only last about like maybe 2 minutes, So it's like, darn. It's really just like watching a movie, really.
Yeah.
But I played with Nightwolf. You play with Nightwolf first. I don't really like him in this one. I can't really get his moves down like really smoothly as I wanted to be. But then I played Shiva. Was the second person I played. And Shiva. I always get Shiva and Sindel, the names mixed up. And I actually got familiar with her. I think I only played one fight with her so far, or 2. But yeah, that was I like her character. So I'd never played these characters before, so this is definitely new for me.
Yeah.
And other than that, that's it. That's all I played. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And then we're flashback into the last week in November. And so, yeah, we're coming in November. We're going back 10 years, 2011. And we got Fate/Extra, which is a PSP I guess an XJ action RPG, or it says dungeon crawler role-playing game. It's anime. Rated if it's even worth even talking about. Well, I got a 58% on Metacritic, so no, it's not really that much we'll talk about. But yeah, it's anime people in front, and there you go. Batman Arkham City came out from the Windows, so it was on the PC.
Yeah.
Cave Story Plus came out for the Windows, so they got to play it too. Corpse Party is on the PSP, another anime type of game, and I think it's survival horror with these two little girls on the front. Let's see what this game is rated.
There's a creepy lady in the back, so that makes sense.
71? They got a 71 on every, 77 on 3DS, I guess, because of 3D.
I feel like Corpse Party's still a thing that I hear about from time to time, so that doesn't
It's
surprise
like these look
me.
like little girls, but they have breasts. It's just...
It's anime, Dominic, anime.
Okay, where are we at now? The King of Fighters, what is this, 13? Is that 3 of them?
Yeah, 13.
So King of Fighters 13 is on PS3 and Xbox 360. I don't really play a lot of King of Fighters. I mean, it looks good. I just never played it.
It always felt like Street Fighter to me, which I was always more of a Mortal Kombat guy. So
yeah. All right, so we got Serious Sam 3 BFE, Best Friends Ever.
Definitely.
That's what it stands for?
Biggest fucking entry?
Okay.
I don't know.
So, yeah, Serious Sam 3. This is one of those games. I think I tried it a bit. I didn't really get into it. But Serious Sam was a game I always wanted to play. I think I mentioned this before. And because it looked so good, I had no PC to play it. But by the time I got it, a PC to play it, it was just looked so old.
Yeah.
So I just didn't bother with it. Serious Sam 3. How did this game rate? How did people like this one? It
was all right.
72 on PC and on Metacritic, and 63 on a 360 though on Metacritic. I wonder why. All right, so what else we have is Sonic Generations for the 3DS was out. Was this any good? This version, was it better? It's got a 66. It got lower. No, I guess it wasn't. 66 out of 100 on 3DS. Darn.
Couldn't even pull off.
Did it try to do 3D or something?
Nah.
They do have some
off on there.
Back. Yeah, they do have some
behind the back stuff.
Behind the back stuff.
On.
That's what. You know what? If they would have kept that out, they probably would have been the best one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tekken Hybrid came out. This is like Tekken Tag Tournament and Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and the Tekken Blood Vengeance movie all in one pack. Blood Vengeance was a computer animated movie, Japanese movie, but it came over here too. And was it any good? I don't see no reviews. Oh, I see reception though. Let me see. The film story isn't great. I kind of figured that. All right. Yeah, I totally forgot about this movie that existed. And
me too.
I watched some of those Resident Evils, and they be looking good. They're just that the story is just so dumb. And that's what it is.
Blood Vengeance has a 44% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
No critic scores.
Of course, the critics ain't wasting their time with that shit. All right, so what we have here, we have WWE 12 on the PS3, Wii, and 360. This is with, is that Randy Orton?
Yep, Randy Orton on the cover.
Okay. So, yeah, and what we got here? They got, let me see. There's notable differences between appearance of the wrestlers in WWE, then SmackDown versus Raw 2011. Oh, yeah, this is the first one. Since the SmackDown versus Raw. This is the first one that's just WWE 12. Okay, you want to go by numbers like that. No SmackDown versus Raw. And it looks better, yeah. I see the graphics. Graphically, it does.
Yeah, Randy's got more abs.
I think that's it, yeah.
He's got more hair, too.
It got a 71 on Metacritic on 360, 72 on PS3,
yeah, I think
and
this
74
was
on
around the era where they started to like get it back together a little bit more. Like I think this through like 14 or 15 maybe, and then people started to fall off again, I think.
And then we have WWE All-Stars, but this time it came out on the 3DS. It came out early in the year on the big consoles. I don't know how the 3DS was recepted, though. Let me see. Do they have that somewhere in this article? Yeah, I don't know. I say just stick with the big consoles.
Which is safe. Pretty good there.
So you're gonna get it. Yeah. All right. Oh, I got 2 more to go. After Fall Insanity. It looks like a survival horror game. I never heard of this game before.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
A survival horror third-person game, and it's horrible. It's 50 out of 100 on Metacritic, so don't bother. Don't bother with it. And then you have F1 2011 came out on the 3DS.
Ooh, fancy.
So you get your F1 series on there and
in 3D.
Seen in 3D. All right. So that is it for 2011 November. We are done. So now we're going back 20 years to 2001. Let's see what came out this week in November. We got Mr. Driller G.
Yeah, the original G.
Yeah, so what the
OG.
yeah. Came out on the PlayStation 1. I guess maybe just to Japan. I guess that they're trying to say here. That's
what it looks like, yeah.
So you got Gothic came out on Windows. I've been hearing about this game. I think is there a Gothic 3? I know it's a Gothic 2.
I was just thinking this was the sequel to Gothica from Halle Berry.
Oh, okay.
No, Gothic does sound familiar for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Gothic 3. I see Gothic 2. It said, an international re-release was announced to prepare for Gothic 3, which received much more attention. Oh, so maybe there was a Gothic 3. I don't know. But yeah, because I remember Gothic 2 more. That's why I didn't really know when Gothic, the first one, came out. So now I know. And they got Metacritic score 81. I believe this is an RPG. I want to say it's a role
playing.
It's game. Action role playing game. They said it gets well received by critics. Reviewers credit the game for its story, complex interaction with other in-game characters, and graphics, but criticize it for its difficult control scheme and high system requirements. Oh man, what kind of system car required back then?
A GT 200.
Okay.
Voodoo 3, Dominic.
All right,
Voodoo 3.
The Voodoo. Oh man, Voodoos. All right, we got the Frogger's Adventures, Temple of the Frog, the Game Boy Advance version. This is your favorite type of Frogger. Look at him wearing pants and a shirt.
The anthropomorphic Frogger where he's standing on his back legs. Yep.
What we got? Azuric, Rise of the Parethia.
Sure.
This was like an Xbox only game. This was a first party game. It centers around it. The guy name is Azuric as he journeys through the vast world of Parethia, gathering elemental disc fragments scattered across the many realms. It didn't have great reviews, unfortunately. This game, 52 out of 100 on Metacritic. I mean, it was like in the Xbox's early lifespan, basically launch window. And I mean, it was I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, graphically, like just little snippets I've seen, but turned out it wasn't that great. So I was like, oh, well, all they have is Halo and Dead or Alive 3. That's all they have.
Yes.
All right. What else we got? We got Jurassic Park 3 Island Attack for the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, they got that Spinosaurus on the front.
Things scary.
What they got here? Oh yes, this is one game I really wanted. I just never got it. Star Wars Starfighter. This is the Xbox version though. That came out earlier for the PlayStation 2. And cause I used to see the Naboo scenes, like, oh my god, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I always won that game. I just never did. I remember this game, Twisted Metal Small Brawl. This is Twisted Metal, like they're toys, and you're kind of. I think one environment I think you were in was like in a child's room, and you just like it's like Twisted Metal for. I want to say for kids because you're still blowing up stuff. So yeah, for kids then. Yeah, for kids.
Kids are fine with
but
that.
It didn't get rated. Yeah, it didn't get rated that well though. It got a 57. 51. Well, 57 on game rankings, but Metacritic gave it a 51, so it got rated horrible. I mean, this is also coming out after Twisted Metal Black, which was on PS2. This is on PlayStation 1. So it's like, what the hell? But this game is probably already being made. It's probably not made by definitely not the Black guys, because I don't even see what you call his name up here. Oh, He was a writer for it though, David Gaffey.
Oh, was it?
Jaffe.
Okay.
Oh, but he put his heart and soul into this.
Did you see that there were rumors recently that they were going to do a new Twisted Metal, but he wasn't going to be involved, so he was extremely pissed off about that?
I didn't know he was pissed off about it. I heard about the rumor about the Twisted Metal though.
Yeah, I
didn't hear about him.
Heard it tangentially that he basically like, yo, if you're going to do this, why didn't you reach out to me?
I mean, they don't talk to him about God of War either, right? And he was on the first one of that.
They might. Just be like, yo,
I never heard
we're
nobody
doing a
talk
thing
about
with it. You got to kiss the ring or whatever, Dominic.
But what? So what was the problem with the PlayStation 3 Twisted Metal?
I don't.
Was it load times? Was load times part of it too?
I don't remember that being. I don't remember what it was exactly about it. Because, yeah, it seemed like people were relatively okay with it, but it just didn't hit the same way as, like, Black did. Like, Black was definitely the peak there.
Yo, Black was, oh my God, that's fucking awesome. All right. Well, so we got Stream G3 came out on the GameCube. And it looked good. I mean, I like Stream G. I like the look, like the warped tracks they have up there.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that game. I would play that. I would rent that and play that over my buddy's house. I think Extreme G, like the ones on the 64, were the ones that I spent the most time with, though. But the one on the GameCube was pretty fun still.
Yeah, I got an 83 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
What else we have? We have Lego Racers 2 for the Game Boy Advance. There you go. We got Cruising Velocity.
Ooh.
On Game Boy Advance. I don't know if they're still in the USA though. Maybe they're just around somewhere else.
They're in the Velocity now.
You got Rampage Puzzle Attack. Yeah, Rampage in a puzzle form.
Is that like actual Rampage?
Yeah. I see the dinosaurs and the giant rhinoceros.
Yep.
Let me see. Funny. Well, I got 71 on Metacritic, so it's not horrible.
Whoa.
But Game Informer gave it a 5 out of 10, though.
Game Informer.
And Nintendo Power gave it a 2.9 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's not horrible.
That's not terrible,
weird.
No. You hear 2, and then you're like, whoa, but yeah, it's out of 5. It's almost a 3, which is above average.
Yeah, it's only gaming. It's only, all game, too, well, whoever these guys are. But it's only Game Informer that gave it a low score.
Just didn't have any taste, Dominic.
Yeah. And now we got the Pokemon killer, Dokapon, Monster Hunter here. I don't know what the fuck this game is. It's on Game Boy Advance. It got a 70 out of 100 on Metacritic. So let me see. Game Zone gave it an 8.5.
It definitely looks like a game that would have come out in the week.
3.5 out of 5 on Nintendo Power, man. They even gave it a decent score.
Wow. They knew they were coming for him.
The game takes place on Dokukano Island in the town of Papanega. Papanga, maybe? Papanga. I don't want to say that's what it is. The goal of the game is to become a licensed adventurer. To do this, a player must pass an adventure exam by completing a number of assigned missions, which requires the player to defeat many monsters in battle. Once weakened, the player can collect the monsters and use it in future battles. Oh, just like Pokemon.
I was going to say, sounds familiar.
To defeat opponents, as with other games such as Pokemon. Yeah, so it was just one of those copycats. It's a Ubisoft game.
They
didn't bring that back.
I remember that now.
Ubisoft need to bring that brand back. So yeah, we got Doku Kapapon Ponmon, whatever the fuck it is. They're back. Like, what is that? Like, they don't even have they have the character on the front, but they don't really, there's one of those
what
monsters.
Does the monster look like? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks horrible. It's not no Pikachu kind of thing up here. It's like whatever that monster in the background right here, that is fucking horrible. All right, so that is it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. And now we get into the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic, we got a little bit of news this week. We got Dead Cells first up. It's getting some free DLC that includes basically skins from a whole bunch of different indie games, including Hollow Knight, Hyper Light Drifter, Guacamelee, and then some others that I'm not so familiar with. That is coming very soon to the PC, and then it's coming later to the console versions. But that was kind of neat. I like Guacamelee a lot, and seeing like their rendition of the Guacamelee luchador, and then there's also like different powers that each of these characters is going to have, so he can turn into chicken and run around for a little bit.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like every couple of months I'm reminded of Dead Cells, and I'm like, why did I never really get into this game? You know, I played it for a little bit there, but I never like fully committed to that game, and it's very much a up my alley game.
Yeah, it really is.
So I don't know, especially now, like this time of year when you start to see sales. You know, I'm sure it's on sale in the eShop right now. I saw earlier it was on sale on Steam. I think maybe that was part of it.
I was thinking about getting Cyberpunk on Stadia because it had the deal. It was like it's half off, so it's $30. But then if you do the Stadia Pro, you'll get another $10 off. I was going to do the free trial, and it would be $20. And I was like, $20, and I can. This would be the best way for me to play it because I don't know if that shit can run on my computer. Like I wouldn't mind paying $30 on a PC for it, but I don't know. I don't know if that shit can run.
Yeah. Whereas like Stadia, at least you should get a decent experience. I mean, like even around launch, that people were talking about how Stadia was like the best way to play that game, which is kind of crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it might be worth doing the pro trial thing and then checking out a game that they have on there as like one of their free things, just to make sure everything runs well on your, it streams well to your PC, and then see if it's worth it to you. So how long's the trial for? I mean, how long would you be able to play that for?
The trial is 3 months, but
wow. Okay. So yeah, you would definitely make your way through that game.
I don't know when it might be over now or maybe still going. I have no idea.
Yeah, probably like tomorrow or Tuesday, because like you got to remember, like everything just kind of blends into the Cyber Monday deals now too. So everything just like stays on sale for like a week. So you might have a little bit of time to look into that. But yeah, that might be a good way to play it. Yeah. So there's that. One of those characters that we did not mention. What's that?
No cheats.
That's true. That might be the deal breaker right there, Dom.
I just got to play on easy mode. I did Fallout on when I played Fallout 3. I didn't have a PC to play it. I just played on easy mode.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you can't get the cleanest faces. You can't get the mods, Dominic.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if they have mods, but I'm sure there are.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I can't run and probably run them anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Macho Man Cyberpunk Dragon or whatever is resource intensive. So. All right, Dominic. So one of the indie characters that was not included in that pack was Shovel Knight, which is somewhat surprising because he's in everything else. But we did get some Shovel Knight news this week. Pocket Dungeon, the latest in the Shovel Knight line of games, that got an official release date and is coming December 13th to the PC and the Nintendo Switch. So,
wait a minute, Shovel Knight. Oh, the Pocket Dungeon. Okay.
Yeah, this is the one that kind of looks like a Pocket Fighter, like the Street Fighter Pocket Fighter game, kind of Tetris-y. One of those. I'm somewhat intrigued by it, but I'm definitely not, rushing out there to get it necessarily. But I like those guys over at Yacht Club Games, and I like to support them. So we'll see.
There's some nice yachts over there.
Yeah. Met them, talked to them, had lunch with all of them. Great people. Definitely wouldn't sexually harass people like some other companies, Dominic. Gonna really regret this. What's that?
I said all of them.
Yes, exactly. I'm gonna really regret this when it comes out that somebody there also did awful things. Yep. Just like it, the Gone Home developer, just fucking awful everywhere.
I know. All right. And the what's we call it? What's the cat one?
Oh yes, yeah, the fucking Night in the Woods one.
Like I don't know if they're even doing anything with that. Like whatever game they were doing afterwards. So it's gonna be a sequel or what? So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
over there.
It just sucks, Dominic. All right, yeah. So some other news. There's a nice little website that Microsoft put out to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Xbox called the Xbox Museum. And it's a fun little, you drop in as a avatar, which would be kind of cool if you could use your own actual avatar.
Or Zurich. You drop it in Zurich.
Yes, you can drop it in Zurich. Yeah, and it just lets you walk around with, the arrow keys or WASD and look around with your mouse at these like little stands, these little displays of different games and things that happened along the Xbox timeline. It's broken into the different generations. And then there's also like a page for your achievements that show you like the first time you got on Xbox Live and the first time you booted up your console and one of the early games that you played. Stuff like that. It's kind of cool just looking back on my history, especially just seeing like, oh yeah, I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2. I played a lot of Gears of War, stuff like that. What was my first achievement ever? Which weirdly, I don't know if it was right because it said like chapter 3 something. And I'm like, how did I get an achievement for chapter 3 without getting achievements for chapter 1 and 2 or of whatever game it was talking about?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that was kind of weird, but it was neat just kind of revisiting that stuff and seeing like, oh yeah, that's what I've been doing. It was also funny seeing like the last 2 years of what I've been playing because like my most played game last year on the Xbox was the demo for Kaze and the Wild Masks or something like that. And my most played game this year on the Xbox, shit, I don't even remember what it was, but it was something like equally as absurd. It was like, oh yeah, I've spent like maybe 10 minutes playing that, but I really just don't play. I play everything on my PC now or through Game Pass.
What?
I don't
like
play
through Steam because it tells you what you play and stuff. I mean, it just does everything like that too. Can they be like, if you get those adult games, can you have like a discrete something so they won't see what you play, or like just a different title of a game? So they like. Nope,
I can see every time you're playing that game.
Lego.
Dominic,
I'm playing Lego Star Wars right now, and I'm not. Like a game that's in your library, you can just lie and say, "I'm playing that game right now," so they think I'm playing that game.
I'd love to see if there's like an app out there that you can download that does that, like discrete game player or something like that.
But they can't say discrete because people gonna know it's like, what's he doing?
Oh no, it doesn't say that. You choose the game that you want it to mask as, like your Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
No, that was kind of like when the Xbox was doing that stuff where it's like, do you want Netflix to display the title of the movie that you're watching?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what one of the dudes was watching some kind of Japanese anime thing. I looked up and said, holy crap, what the hell is that? It's almost like porn, but I knew you can't have porn on Netflix, but still.
Right.
It was weird.
Like Cat Girls from Space or something like that.
Yeah,
I remember you telling me about it. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, now I just imagine people looking on people's friends list like, oh my God. I'm just playing acting lessons again. How many times is he going to beat that game?
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, you know what? Because Xbox, they be showing me playing some games that's not on Xbox.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, that's the thing. Because, yeah, now like the Xbox app now shows like even games that you're not playing through their app. They'll be like, oh, yeah, you're playing this game. It's like, wait a second. How do you know that? Stop looking at my data.
Yeah.
I got to go on the Xbox app now and see.
Yeah, somebody asked me, like, hey, you've been playing that game, being a dick a lot. Where is it?
Can I download that on the Xbox? No, you definitely cannot. All right, Dominic. In some other news, we got big acquisition here. Epic has picked up the developer behind rock band Harmonix, who has kind of bounced around for a while now. They were with MTV at a certain point, and then they went back to being independent, I think. But yeah, now they're part of the Epic brand, Dominic. Now you can play Rock Band in Fortnite or something, probably.
Man, that's good. Good for them.
It's good that they probably got a little more security than they have in the past few years. And it sounds like they're still going to be putting out Rock Band DLC, which is crazy to me because, I don't know, at a certain point, I think they stopped and then they started again. But I've been so far out of Rock Band now for so long that it's just like, I don't even know why I would spend money on that anymore. But also, like, I never got in on the Xbox One version, so I couldn't get that. And then the date came where you could transfer your entire library to that version of it. So like I couldn't do that anymore. So it's like now the platform has fallen away. And I think the biggest hit to me was just not being able to use the drum set that I got, like the nicer drum set for it on the Xbox One version without buying like the fancy adapter. And they only made like 25 of the adapter. So now the adapter is like $600 on eBay or whatever. So it's just like, oh yeah, I'm never going to go back and play like the shitty drums on my Xbox One version. So I guess I'm just never going to play that. I'm sure there's like some open source thing on the PC that you can like load all those songs into, but that's also, I'm sure, some sort of legal gray area. But yeah, I spent a lot of stuff on Rock Band, Dominic. I spent a lot of money on Rock Band.
Yeah, man, that was huge back then.
It was a phenomenon. It was amazing. Yeah, it was really cool. So,
now just to think like that was so long ago, but god damn, it's like man, I'm so old, man, because that's like I was at Target and shit. God, man, like Target now is becoming a long time ago now.
Yeah,
it's gonna be 10 years next year for me that I left Target.
Oh my god.
Damn.
That's what I was thinking. I've now been away from Target longer than I was at Target, and Target used to be the majority of my life.
It's like a 10-year reunion Target or something like that. Is that?
I'm sure I could work something up for you if you really wanted to, Dominic. I know some people. Got some contacts. I could still get them together. Might be hard to get some people though. They moved away. So. Yeah, that's rough, Dominic. That's made me think about it now, and now I'm all up in my head. All right, Dominic, we got one last news story here, and it is it's unfortunate because it's not surprising, but at the same time, Sony maybe stuck their foot in their mouth last week when they were, getting all up in Activision's business about how they're not handling things correctly over there, because now there's a woman filing a lawsuit looking for class action status against Sony for gender discrimination. Basically, She was an IT analyst, and she was saying that women in the same positions as men were getting paid less. And they were being treated differently. Their ideas weren't being taken as seriously.
Saying like people, and you change the woman, because women aren't people. Yeah, you're right.
Wow, rough. Rough. I was specifying the type of person, Dominic. How dare you? How dare you? And basically saying that after she kind of spoke out about this stuff at work, she was unanimously let go.
So where is what part of Sony is it? Is this the PlayStation stuff?
That's what I was trying to figure out, because it says PlayStation. I'm looking at the Polygon article. The title is PlayStation Faces Gender Discrimination. I'm trying to see if they have her specific. She was a former IT security analyst. Her name is Emma Maho. And she said the company was not paying equally as men with similar titles. She alleged that Sony tolerates and cultivates a work environment that discriminates against female employees, which is something we're hearing a lot from these video game companies. Sony
I'm hearing that a lot. I didn't know. Like I said before, in this country, it's hard for me to just genderize something. I figure you gotta be a little more specific. Like, but like race is a big. Come on, race is a big thing about in this country, more than almost anywhere. Well, like other first world countries have their problems too. But this country, what are black? Like you say, men, like you say, women are discriminated, and I'm sure they are.
Right.
But I'm like, are the black men doing well here? Because I would be shocked if they are.
Are there black men in these roles? Period.
Yeah. Are the black men in the roles? Are they even the ones doing the problem too? Are they part of the men who are the problem too? Because I'll be surprised if there's a lot of black men there, and if they are, like, I want to know how they feel about this. Like, because that's from my perspective. Like, because I'll be pissed off if I saw that. Yeah. But then again, I'll be thinking like I'm gonna be probably just like the woman, probably he discriminating just in a different way.
Yeah.
but still being
a second,
fucked
am
over.
I getting the same pay as Ted over there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
absolutely. I think it's important for these companies to be more transparent about those types of statistics, not for like, oh, we've got, 50% black people or anything like that, but just so you can kind of see that the way things break down a little more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this is, I'm saying this should happen. I mean, because nobody should be discriminated at the workplace. No. It's sad that we're still going through this stuff. Well, thing is, maybe it's so much, people say it's sad, like when people always say like, oh, it's 2021, are we still doing this? I think it's more that we were in so denial that it stopped from some, like, whatever reason, shit stopped at a certain time. And it came back. It never did stop.
Yeah, right.
I think the thing is that we've come to a realization that this is what it is. Not that you need to keep it this way, that you need to be more serious to stop this. Like, this is not
it's
something
going to take
like,
more than just going, oh, yeah, this is bad for it to actually end. Yeah.
Like, and that's why when I hear things like, especially with politicians saying like, when they say like, oh, this is not a racist country. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, what are you talking? What do you mean it's not a racist country?
People, Dominic, it's never been racist because they would be the ones perpetrating the racism, and they've definitely never been racist.
Get 10 minutes on Xbox Live and party chat. I mean, not party chat, out of party chat with the public. Go somewhere and you'll see how racist it is.
Oh, that's just the toxicity of the internet, Dominic.
Yeah, and that's what they were blaming on, and that's just like surface level shit. I mean, goddamn.
Exactly. That would be the thing, right? Oh, they're saying the words, but they don't actually mean that. They don't have the power to do anything. You say this is a systematically racist country.
But why say it then? It's like, to say it that much, I mean, it's like ridiculous.
Yeah. Because you tell us we can't, Dominic. You're taking power away from us. Little do they realize that, if that's the little bit of power that you're taking away from them and you're fighting that hard for it, then like think of the people who actually have all of their power taken away from them.
Exactly.
It's just awful, Dominic. It's awful. Everything's awful. Don't be surprised next week when we come on here and say the same thing about Microsoft. In fact, like, I don't know about Xbox specifically, but I'm 99% sure we've already talked about, or at the very least, it has been in the news that these exact similar types of things that have happened at Microsoft already.
Oh, so, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're just going to slowly find out about every single company because, companies are there to make their shareholders money, and in the case of not having shareholders, then whoever the invested parties are, it's there to make money at the end of the day. It sucks, but that's the system that we've established. And the only way to change that is to change the system. So, got some work to do, Dominic. That is our news for the... Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to just say I didn't have any news, so you...
Okay. Gotcha. All right, so no more news. We got Games for Gold and PlayStation Plus stuff for this upcoming month of December. For Games for Gold, we got The Escapist 2, Tropico 5, Oryx Must Die, and Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, which is a game I very much enjoyed.
Yeah, I did. And was that always... I mean, I already had that game, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, at least you have access to it through my library, because I'm pretty sure I bought it. I don't know if it's ever been... Oh, you bought it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you bought it. Okay.
I don't know if it's ever been a part of it.
I see this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a Metroidvania.
Cool. Darn, it's not... I mean, yeah, Oryx Must Die. Yeah, I guess it was not the Xbox One lifespan. Yeah, I guess it came out during Xbox One time. Darn. But... Yeah, I was thinking that because that is an Xbox One game, right? That's not the original. I mean, the Xbox 360 game.
Oryx Must Die, I feel like has to be a 360 game, right? Did it really come out during?
Oh no, you're right. Because Tropical 5, yeah, that has to be a 360 game. Okay, unless Tropical 5 was 360, I don't know. But I think that's his penultimate edition. I don't think that's definitely probably an Xbox One game.
Yeah. Yeah, so once again, got a selection there. PlayStation Plus, I don't think these games have been officially confirmed yet, but the leaks for this, for the past couple of months, the leaks have been spot on with this stuff, so I figured it was worth mentioning. Really like. Is it Godfall, Dominic?
No, it's not Godfall.
Okay. Is it Mortal Shell?
Is that the PS5? Is that the PS5
That is
version?
the PS5 one, yep. Yeah, that's the Destiny-like, I guess. But with Melee. So that's the PS5 exclusive one. Then you have Mortal Shell and Lego DC Supervillains.
Now, yeah, that's awesome. That game is awesome. It is good.
Yeah.
But what is Mortal Shell?
Mortal Shell, I think that's the action RPG. Hate to say it, but like the Dark Souls of action RPGs, maybe. Came out not that long ago, I feel like. I'm probably gonna be like 3 years or something now. It came out August 2020. Yeah, it's a deep action RPG according to their website here. So it very much reminds me of like a Dark Souls-esque thing, kind of set in a dark, somewhat medieval-looking fantasy world. So I don't remember reviews being terrible for it, but I don't think they were particularly great. Let me see if I can find the... we'll just look at it on Steam here real quick. It has a very positive and mostly positive on Steam. So sounds like not too bad an option there. Yeah. Like you said, Lego DC Supervillains is pretty damn good. The story stuff on that, is that voice acted? That's the same score
as this game called Sisterly Lust, Scott. So yeah.
Sisterly Lust.
Yeah, so I think we should trust those reviews.
Stop doing your research during this podcast. All right. So the Supervillains one, is that fully voice acted but original stuff, I assume? Yeah. So that stuff's not terrible. Once it's really just the movie clip Lego games that are the worst ones.
Yeah, not the original voice. I mean, like original script.
Yeah. So that's not too bad. You got a nice selection there as well. All right, Dominic, you got anything else before we get into the new release of the week?
Nah.
All right.
The only one? Okay.
Sorry.
Well, it's only one that's worth talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. And that is Death's Door. That is now out on the Nintendo Switch and PS4 and PS5. So that was previously just PC and Xbox, I believe. Was it Xbox?
Yeah, because I played on PC. I don't remember. Was it on Xbox?
Now you got me doubting it. Let's see. Because it wasn't on Game Pass, and that's what I was disappointed by.
Yeah.
But I want to say it was... Yes. Yeah, it was Xbox as well. God, that game was
a good game.
Yeah, so that's a game that I want to try out. I wonder how that runs on the Switch, because I was telling you, like, I was kind of interested to see, once the Switch version of that comes out, play that there. But yeah, that game looks good. I am very intrigued by that. One day I will play it. And then the day after I buy it will be the day they announce that it's coming to Game Pass. So, yeah. So that's our new release for the week. You got anything else for the people, Dominic?
Nope. I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. Basically, any place you get your podcasts, you can probably find this one there too. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
All right, see ya.